Welcome back to JPCE Spiritual Talk. So this evening, we're going to talk about NATO war plans, blockades, Ukraine struggle, and global tensions. Start out real quick with a reading from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. So welcome back to JPCE Spiritual Talk. I'm Jared Campbell, and today, we'll delve into NATO's tactical maneuvers in the face of rising global tensions, the significant challenges facing the Ukrainian Armed Forces, and the complex geopolitical landscape that inches us closer to global conflict and World War III. We'll also discuss Russia's tactical military posturing and the escalating rhetoric from global leaders that highlight the stakes of the international standoff. Let's embark on this insightful journey together. We'll get our screen shared over. We'll get right over to segment 1, the first article. Thank you all again for following. So first article should be right up there on the screen. So we're going to talk about NATO's tactical deployment and European logistics. So here, NATO's readiness plan will involve rapidly deploying 300,000 soldiers across Europe, utilizing multiple land corridors, with Greece playing a pivotal role. Lieutenant General Alexander Solfrank has improvised overcoming European bureaucratic hurdles and ensuring sustainable support chains to facilitate swift military movements. The tactical use of ports in Italy, Greece, and Turkey will be crucial for northern routes if northern routes become compromised. Despite challenges, including potential sabotage and logistical issues within Greece's railroad network, NATO is pushing forward with comprehensive logistic strategies to maintain a state of readiness. So on your screen, I'm going to pull up, here are the 4 alternate paths are already in use for this case. So you'll see Italy, Greece, Turkey, and Norway. So Norway, Sweden, Finland, right? Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania. Greece, Bulgaria, Romania. Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, Hungary. So those are some of the alternate routes. So our next article, let's see, can't remember if there was a video in here. Well, those are just maps. So here are some of the maps of what I was talking about. So I'll pull the maps up on the screen, everyone can see. So as you can see how this will play out in the case they go into a huge conflict with Russia, right? So that's kind of how what they're showing how they will do it, right? Here's another map. And you see points 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 being at the top. All right, so our next article. So segment 2, Baltic Sea blockade, a NATO show of force. So NATO has escalated its presence in the Baltic Sea, deploying 50 warships equipped with Typhoon missile systems, SM-6, and Tomahawk cruise missiles. The naval force aims to curb Russian naval operations and protect tactical interests in the regions, like Kaliningrad and the Northern Fleet area. Recent exercises, including Steadfast Defender 2024 and Baltops 2024, underscore the alliance commitment to defending its members and enhancing military readiness. Deployment on the Danish island of Bornholm and enhances NATO's ability to project power and secure its maritime boundaries against potential Russian aggression. So here's some pictures of the exercise. Some more maps. Warships that are assembling. Our next article. Russia's tactical moves, and global posturing. So Russia announces from the US of the UN an ultimatum to NATO. The French are taking about the development of nuclear missiles in Libya, Cuba, and Venezuela aimed at Florida. French and US concerned over the movements of K-561 Kazan submarine. Amid heightened NATO's activities, Russia has not remained passive. Announcements at the UN reveal Russia's readiness to counteract by possibly deploying long-range, even nuclear capabilities in strategic locations against NATO's interests. The presence of Russian nuclear-capable submarines and warships in the regions like Cuba, alongside speculated reports of missile developments in Libya and Venezuela, mirror the intense Cold War standoffs and signify a severe escalation in global military tensions.
Мы думаем на тему о том, что если кто-то считает возможным поставлять такое оружие в зону боевых действий для нанесения ударов по нашей территории и создания проблем для нас, то почему у нас нет права поставлять наше оружие такого же класса в те регионы мира, где будут наноситься удары по чувствительным объектам тех стран, которые делают это в отношении России? Конечно, подобные действия будут окончательно, они сейчас уже дошли до высшей степени деградации, но будут окончательно разрушать международные отношения и будут подрывать международную безопасность. И в конечном итоге, если мы видим, что эти страны втягиваются в войну против нас, а это и есть их прямое участие в войне против Российской Федерации, то мы оставляем за собой право действовать аналогичным образом.
All right, our next article. Escalation in Ukraine and NATO's support. So NATO and the US to Ukraine secure the airspace for NATO. Forces to enter hit targets 300 kilometers deep inside Russia. So the US and NATO's decision to position Patriot and SAMP-T air defense systems close to the Russian border marks a significant escalation. This move aims to deter Russian air capabilities and signals robust support for Ukraine's sovereignty. Additionally, the forthcoming deployment of advanced fighter jets and the enhanced cooperation in the defense technologies between NATO and Ukraine demonstrate an unwavering commitment to Ukraine's defense against Russian aggression.
Вполне возможно, что системы «Патриот» теперь будут применяться и на Харьковщине, и над Россией. Они отлично подходят для борьбы с российскими самолетами, которые могут сбрасывать ужасные планирующие бомбы.
I know for years you resisted the idea of American weapons being used for any sort of direct strike inside Russia. But we did witness this shift in recent days, authorizing American weapons for limited direct strikes. Are American weapons being used right now inside Russia?
They're authorized to be used in proximity to the border. We're not authorizing strikes 200 miles into Russia. We're not authorizing strikes on Moscow, on the Kremlin.
I know for years you resisted the idea of American weapons being used for any sort of direct strike inside Russia. But we did witness this shift in recent days, authorizing American weapons for limited direct strikes. Are American weapons being used right now inside Russia?
They're authorized to be used in proximity to the border. We're not authorizing strikes 200 miles into Russia. We're not authorizing strikes on Moscow, on the Kremlin.
Allies are providing support to Ukraine in different ways. We have to remember what this is. This is a war of aggression. Russia has launched a full-fledged invasion of an independent sovereign nation in Europe, Ukraine. And Ukraine has, according to international law, the right to defend themselves. And we have the right to provide support to Ukraine.
All right. We're just moving right along here. So our next article, segment 5, U.S. military aid and bilateral support. U.S. What is new in the $225 million military aid package to Ukraine? Biden gives an apology to Zelensky. So here we go, right? So more money to Ukraine. So President Joe Biden announced a new military aid package for Ukraine during a meeting with President Zelensky in Paris and a show of continued alliance. This package bolsters Ukraine's defense capabilities with crucial military supplies, from air defense missiles to armored personnel carriers. This aid reflects a deepening of U.S.-Ukrainian ties, reminiscent of historic alliances, and underscores the international commitment to supporting Ukraine amidst ongoing conflict with Russia. So what's in this new aid package? Well, here we go. I'm gonna put it right here on the screen. It's right here in this article. So here we go. What your tax dollars are paying for. Why most of us struggle to feed our families back here at home. So missiles for Hawk air defense systems, Stinger missiles, ammunition for HIMARS, 155 millimeter and 105 millimeter artillery shells, 81 millimeter mortar rounds, M113 armored personnel carriers, equipment transport vehicles, coastal boats, tow missiles, Javelin and AT-4 anti-tank missiles, grenades, night vision devices, spare parts, and maintenance. President Joe Biden also expressed unwavering support for Ukraine and apologized for the delay caused by conservative members of Congress. Zelensky thanked Biden for the comprehensive U.S. support and emphasized the importance of bipartisanship backing the U.S., comparing it to American support during World War II. The leaders will meet again at the upcoming G7 summit in Italy to discuss further support for Ukraine, including the use of frozen Russian assets. All right, so here we go.
You continue to fight in a way that is just remarkable, And I'm not going to walk away from you. I apologize for those weeks of not knowing what's going to happen in terms of funding, because we had trouble getting the bill that we had to pass that had the money in it from some of our very conservative members who were holding it up. But we got it done finally, and since then, including today, I've announced 6 packages of significant funding. Today, I'm also signing an additional package for $225 million to help you reconstruct the...
Quick observation here. He looks very weak and very tired, right? Fragile, right? And he's supposed to be the president of the United States of America.
The electric grid, but once we got the national security bill passed, that was a political issue, we were able to get it all done. And the way you stood and holding on in Kharkiv, and you've proven once again the people of Ukraine cannot and will never be overtaken. And I assure you, the United States is going to stand with you. You've said that all during this debate. I continue to say it. The United States is standing with you. You are the bulwark against the aggression that's taking place. We have an obligation to be there. And so I'm looking forward to having a detailed discussion with you about where we go from here. But we're still in completely, thoroughly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. First of all, thank you so much for your significant support, your administration. We are very thankful from all Ukrainians to your military support, financial support, humanitarian one, and of course it's very important. And our meeting here is very symbolic. It's very important that you stay with us. This bipartisan support with the Congress, it's very important that in this unity, United States, America, all American people stay with Ukraine. Like it was during World War II, how the United States helped to save human lives, to save Europe. And we count on your continuing support and standing with us shoulder to shoulder. Thank you so much. And this big package, which been signed it and supported and voted, and it's very important. It's so necessary for the feeling of our people that we are not alone. We are with you, with our strategic partner. And of course, I want today to speak about strengthening of Kharkiv region. You said already, it's so important. And your decisions have been had a very positive influence. I don't want to share everything, all the details with press, sorry. But I think there are some details on the battlefield which you need to hear from us. We are thankful for this. Also, I want to speak about air defense totally on our territory, and we are thankful for participation in Peace Summit on the level of Vice President. Thank you so much. We think that we will have more than 100 countries, and I hope that it will be a first step on this way to peace. We need peace in Ukraine, but we will stay. Anyway, stay strong. And of course, I want to discuss some future events. Thank you again.
All right. All right, here we go. So our next article, segment 6. So article 6, the human cost of conflict. So blind strike of Ukrainians and Lungas with ATA CMS. They targeted civilian districts, say the Russians. We attacked a Russian military base, says Kiev. So recent incidents from the missile strike in Lungas and the devastating casualties reported on both sides highlight the brutal reality of what warfare, right? Accusations and counterclaims from Russia and Ukraine about targeting civilian areas versus military installations underscore the complicities of tragedies of war, where truth often becomes obscured by what? The fog of conflict, right? So we have to acknowledge that, stay objective, right? So here are some videos of this missile strike. Let's watch.
Hi. Разворачивайся.
Yeah, can't really get that one to come up, so I do apologize. I don't want to have to come back out to. But let's move on, right? So let's move on to our next article. So our next one is also interesting. Let's retranslate that. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk about Putin slams Israel. This is not war, but a complete genocide of civilian population, right? So geopolitical repercussions and Russia's critique of Israel. So this is getting interesting. So if you're someone like me who follows the Bible, right, likes to read, study theology, it's getting biblical, right? So Russian President Putin criticized Israel for what he described as a complete annihilation of civilian population in Gaza in response to Hamas' attack on Israel. He argued that the situation was not a war, but rather destruction of civilians, and blamed U.S. policy for the conflict, claiming it monopolized efforts to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian issue. Putin improvised Russia's attempt to influence conflict resolution, particularly in the humanitarian aspect. He also reiterated Russia's stance that establishing a Palestinian state is the most valuable solution for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Relations between Russia and Israel have cooled in the past 2 years, despite Russia's traditionally good relations with both the Palestinians and Arab states. So let's look at here a few videos here.
But what we're seeing today in Gaza, in response to the well-known terrorist attack in Israel, does not look like a war. It looks like a destruction of the civilian population. I can only reiterate Russia's official position. We deem this to be a result of the United States policy.
I think that's the same video. All right. So our final segment, our last article. So the Russian army is making advances, right? They're claiming Ukrainian casualties soared to 50,000 per month. They also claim 1,500 Ukrainians lost in 24 hours. So let's take a look at this. Remember, this is what the Russians are claiming, right? So keep this in mind. So the Russian army is making significant advances, right? Causing severe Ukrainian casualties. According to the Russian President Putin and the Russian Ministry of Defense, Ukrainian casualties are currently around 50,000 per month. That's a lot. Leading to unimaginable losses. Putin estimates that over 1.3 million Ukrainians will be dead or severely injured. The Russian military is advancing in critical areas, such as the ones we see on the screen. They're capturing important positions and engaging in intense combat. In the last 24 hours alone, nearly 1,500 Ukrainian soldiers have been reported killed. Losses of military equipment, including armored vehicles and artillery. The Russian Ministry of Defense reports significant losses for the Ukrainian forces in Donetsk region and heavy casualties in the Kharkiv area. The continued advance of Russian troops and the high rate of Ukrainian casualties suggests a deteriorating situation for Ukraine on multiple fronts. As we analyze the developments, it becomes clear that the world stands at a precocious juncture, with the potential for these regional conflicts to spiral to more significant global confrontations. NATO and Russia's tactical maneuvers, coupled with the intensifying military support for Ukraine, signal a deep, entrenched conflict that requires careful diplomatic navigation to avoid any further escalation. Okay. Let's end with this. So in Matthew chapter 5, verse 9, and it says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God." And strategic alliances that define our current global landscape. Remember to subscribe and stay engaged as we provide insightful analysis of these critical global issues. Till next time, keep seeking the truth and clarity in everything you do. Also, like and subscribe, share out the video. Hope you all enjoy this. I'll get better as I do more of these, but I enjoyed just showing you all these updates. So thank you all again for following. Hope you enjoyed it. All right. Enjoy the rest of y'all's weekend. All right. Thank you all again for following. It's a pleasure. I love you all so much.